Is it over? Is it over? Did I make it? Oh my God. What was... Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure how, but I think we just survived one of the worst episodes this season has ever seen. I'm sorry, I just wasn't prepared. It's that level of anal devastation, that sheer violence against the characters and consistency. It was mind-boggling. Huh. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Newbie Dash. Now, in order to actually get a properly objective review of this, I felt I had to wait a little while and step back and view it from another angle, only to realize that this episode is ugly from all angles and at every conceivable level of resolution. It is fractally bad. I could go on and on about this asshole's treatment of Rainbow Dash forever and a day, but it feels like this episode was doing heavy compensating at all times. In order to compensate for Spitfire and the Wonderbolt's hostility to Rainbow Dash, it felt like they were forced to make Rainbow Dash into this colossal screw-up who can't even follow the most basic of directions. And in order to compensate for the fact that the Wonderbolts themselves are irredeemable assholes, they had to make them all irredeemable assholes. Wait. What? Did I hear that right? There is no justification for them being assholes beyond the fact that they're just assholes? You're serious? This isn't an episode about friendship, then? This isn't an episode about friendship solving a problem? It's just an excuse to try to salvage the reputation of a bunch of frat boys with military pretensions? And the whole lesson was that it's okay to abuse people as long as they're so stupid that it makes it okay? Really? Oh God. I'm gonna need some cider. So, my first problem with this episode is that the Wonderbolts still exist, and we still have no idea what the hell they exist for. We've seen them as stunt ponies, as public servants, and as a bunch of criminally undersized fly swatters for a giant dragon. But get this, people, the show has never, ever even once actually told us what the Wonderbolts are there to do. And they aren't military. They never explicitly tell us that they are a military unit. And even if they were, they are pretty darn bad at it, since they usually stick to dicking each other over like manipulative douchebags and being outperformed by everyone else all the time. So really, we're left to wonder, why does Dash even want to join them at all? Why is this episode considered the culmination of her life's dream, even after seeing their ridiculous behavior over and over and over again, and proving that she is not only more talented, but a better pony, better person than all of them put together? Well, because we needed an episode where she joins the Wonderbolts, just like we needed that episode where the CMC got their cutie marks, or we needed an episode where Channing and Cadence have a baby, a beautiful, totally marketable baby that you can make all kinds of merchandise out of, or how we needed that episode that finally focuses on Celestia and Luna as characters instead of plot devices. Oh wait, we never got that, and we never will. On with the train wreck. So as we start out, we see that the first thing wrong with this episode is that it has the Wonderbolts in a speaking role. I don't know why people have this weird need to justify their existence, but since the show keeps evading the question and never gives us a clear answer, I guess we're all getting desperate by this point. So the episode begins with Spitfire dropping out of the sky like an anvil of exposition and telling Rainbow Dash, "Hey, you're a Wonderbolt now. Come fly with us."
What she said.
But no, instead of mercifully nipping this crap in the bud, we're dragged through the muck, kicking and screaming. After an admittedly pretty funny gag where she packs up Spike, Dash goes to the barracks/academy/whatever the hell this place is, and she's given rule number 1. Always look both ways before crossing the street. You'll learn why this is stupid later.
Whoa! Is that General Flash's cap? And the original crest with the Wonderbolt's motto on it.
Yeah.
Altius Volantis.
Oh, yeah. Very
Soaring higher.
Perfect. Yes.
Wow! Okay, Newbie. We've got a show in 2 days.
Wait, what did you just say?
We've got a show in 2 days.
2 days?
2 days.
2 days to learn a brand new routine. Not one of those Dossie merry-go-round, do-it-in-your-sleep deals, but one of those things where people could die if you make a single mistake. 2 days to learn that. 2 days.
In 2 days, which means you gotta hustle your haunches to learn this routine.
Oh boy. So, Rainbow Dash wakes up the next morning, walks outside, and screws up. Really? Really? That's what we're gonna do? We're supposed to believe that Rainbow Dash is so utterly stupid that you can't remember to look both ways before crossing a busy runway? Hey guys, why did the Rainbow Dash cross the road? Because she's a dumbass! I know she was excited to be there, but they put so much emphasis on this one rule with Spitfire stomping on her tail and saying, "This is the one thing you are not supposed to screw up." If this was some obscure yet important, if you think about it, rule, then that Dash could conceivably miss during the briefing, then fine, but this is basic traffic safety. I'm sorry, I just thought Dash was supposed to be a more developed character by now. I guess I missed that memo while it was being tossed in the paper shredder. So then the predictable thing happens when the Wonderbolts come up with their new nickname.
Are you okay, Rainbow Dash?
More like Rainbow Crash.
Yeah, Rainbow Crash!
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
And this is where the problems begin. First of all, Rainbow Crash is a stupid nickname. Secondly, we have never seen Rainbow have any traumatic hang-ups over it. When we last saw her, she was handling the bullies who teased her with that nickname pretty darn well, and yet in this episode we suddenly get a PTSD flashback to those terrible times in flight camp when she got that awful, horrible, no good, very bad nickname that she just can't stand to hear. One could say it's because she already respects the Wonderbolts and she doesn't want them to use that horrifying moniker, but they really went out of their way to attach some severe trauma to this name where there really wasn't any before.
I know you've been a reservist for a while, but the Bolts have a few of their own rules you might not know about. Like worst flyer of the day has to clean up the whole compound. Better get to it, Crash.
Oh, yeah, no. Don't tell her about how the name calling is all in good fun, or that's just how they do things around here. Don't tell her anything that might actually assuage her mind of anything bad, like, not being accepted by the team or anything. No, just shove some cleaning crap at her and let her sort it out for herself. Great team leadership there, Spitfire. By the way, that was weird.
Good morning, everybody. Who's ready for a fantastic day of flying? I know I am.
Oh God. What is she doing? Why is she doing this? How long was she just standing there watching Soren sleep? Does she do that normally?
Wonderbolts don't get excited, Crash. You gotta keep a level head to fly the way we do.
Wonderbolts don't get excited, Chris. So we got this weird sequence where Rainbow is trying to imitate her friends in order to get rid of her nickname.
I must tell you how much
much I just love these uniforms. Why, ever since I was a foal, I've admired the mixture of bold lines and classic contours. They don't call me Rainbow Fash for nothing.
No, Soren, avert your eyes. This awkward boner is not worth it. But at least straight Dash shippers will have a field day with this episode. But see, this scene would be hilarious if it weren't for the fact that it's not funny at all. Why is she doing this? Sure, she wants to be rid of her nickname, but why imitate her friends? What is the point? In what world does I'm going to imitate another person entirely equal a good plan to get rid of a nickname? And this is not the Rainbow Dash brand of stupidity, where she goes over the top and, blows up a whole rainbow factory in order to stop winter from coming. This is just plain stupid. Why doesn't she just try something else awesome or embarrassing to, something that might actually be a catalyst for a nickname? What is even the point of all this? It's just a big waste of time. Are we trying to say that she's not comfortable unless it's in someone else's skin? That she's not comfortable being a Wonderbolt? That she's not comfortable, she can't find her confidence unless she's acting like somebody else? What is the point of this scene? It just wastes time. It's not clever, and it doesn't fit with Rainbow's character or what she's actually trying to accomplish. And by the way, where is Spitfire doing all of this? Why isn't she actually being, a team leader and making sure that Rainbow Dash actually fits in with the team? She can clearly see that there is something really wrong with Rainbow Dash. Just watch.
I'm not sure why you're acting like this, but you need to stop.
I was just, trying to show every pony all the awesome ways I can contribute to the bolts.
I know you're excited to find your place on the team, but just focus on the routine for now, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
See, right there, we get some verbal acknowledgement that, yeah, Spitfire thinks this behavior is weird, but never once does she question it. Never once does she actually make sure that Rainbow Dash is fitting in. And by the way, there's still 2 days until that super important routine, but we don't actually see anybody hanging out with her, bringing her into the fold or practicing the routine with her. Speaking of the routine.
Oh, perfect. Hey, can I borrow Scootaloo?
Me? What for?
Oh, I just needed some help and figured the president of the Rainbow Dash fan club was the right pony for the job.
And now she's reverting to emotional manipulation with a harebrained scheme that will do absolutely nothing to actually help. You'd think don't change the routine would also be one of the most important rules out there, something that they would lay out for Rainbow Dash before this even started. Yet she seems to not know that this is a bad idea. Then again, she's been a complete dumbass this entire episode, so yeah. Predictably, it fails miserably. Rainbow feels bad, and then this happens.
It's been my dream my whole life, but I guess maybe I'm not Wonderbolt material after all.
Are you serious? You're the most talented flyer we've ever had.
And you've saved all of Equestria like a dozen times.
Like at least a dozen times.
Of course you're supposed to be a Wonderbolt. We've been waiting for a spot to open up ever since you joined the reserves.
But you guys all called me Rainbow Crash.
Yeah, so?
Don't worry, we were only pretending to be retarded. Oh, okay, so now we're getting some recognition that they've treated Dash like shit this whole time. Now they're saying that she's super talented. Now they're admitting that they have a freaking superhero on their team. It only took 5 years and 6 seasons, but now we get a passing reference in the last 30 seconds that Dash is cut from a slightly higher quality cloth than the rest of these lame dweebs. I mean, for crying out loud. They put her through mental hell for the last 2 days with all this pressure and stress without actually explaining what their team is all about, without actually explaining their traditions or anything to her. They just threw her to the sharks and expected her to live with it. Why are we getting this pointless, contrived, tacked-on explanation right here at the end of the episode? It's not even a friendship lesson. It's more like, oh, sorry, we didn't realize that you were acting like a dumbass on purpose this whole time. We all thought it was an act. Everything's fine now. Everything's fine now. We're all good. We're all friends here.
Right, Rainbow Crash?
By the way, does anyone even notice that Rainbow's plan fails because of herself? she gets scared of the exact same cloud that she told Scootaloo to throw in front of her when she gets to the end of her course. So why did she even bother getting a plan together if she was going to avoid it? What made her so scared of the cloud that she had to go off into some crazy tangent that ruins her whole performance? Is there yet another repressed memory of a rain cloud killing her mom or something? Is there any reason this happened at all? She wouldn't have crashed if she didn't get scared of the cloud, so why did she go to such lengths to avoid it when she was the one who swerved towards it in the first place? Rainbow Dash gets taken down by her own plan. What? It makes absolutely no gobbledygookin sense, but neither does the rest of this episode. I don't think I even need to show the very ending, because Rainbow Dash is now part of the Wonderbolts. That's it. That's her life's dream accomplished. 5 years and 6 seasons led up to this episode. No catharsis, no emotional payoff, no nothing. Just a mediocre as shit episode with shit characterization and shit lazy writing. Just shit, lazy, dumb, schizo, bad, moronic, cretinous, asinine, stupid, dumb, boring, craptastic, barf-bagalicious, condescending, grasping for straws, utterly lacking in any sort of creative energy at all, just complete and utter shit. So let me talk about the nickname, since that's what most people seem to be in such an uproar about. In the end, the nickname is not the worst sin that this episode commits by far, but it's still pretty bad. I mean, why did nobody just pull Rainbow Dash aside and be like, hey, don't take it so hard. We do this to everybody. This is how we treat the new guys. Or better yet, just have someone warn her before she even gets there that they tend to attach nicknames to people. And then Rainbow Dash could have thought that she would get an awesome nickname. And in her vanity and hubris, she manages to crash and gets the nickname Rainbow Crash of her own, as a consequence of her own actions. Not by being a dumb fuck chicken that forgets to look both ways before crossing the street. In the end, this episode just makes the Wonderbolts in general look like a bunch of turd waffles because they put Rainbow Dash through mental hell, don't even bother to ask what's wrong with her, and then expect her to learn a brand new routine in 2 days, and then get angry with her when she inevitably messes up. This isn't even hazing. This is criminal negligence.
Way to go, Rainbow Crash.
I mean, I get it. It's a military thing. And in the military, you're dealing with constant fear of death and extreme boredom and extreme stress, and you got to find a way to vent, But the Wonderbolts are not the military. They have never once been shown to be dealing with that kind of thing. They have never once been confirmed to be a part of the Equestrian Armed Forces. Rainbow Dash never once, not even once, said, I want to join the Air Force, or I want to join the military. She said, and I quote, I want to join the Wonderbolts. And the Wonderbolts themselves are never explicitly said to be anything, really, besides a group of stunt ponies. And whatever they're supposed to be doing, they suck at it. They really, really suck at it.
Okay, guys, time to be totally shown up by these losers from Ponyville who can't even fly, in spite of the fact that we are an elite stunt team who has been training for years. Also, fuck you, Soren, we never liked you anyway, and we're gonna dump you because you make us look bad. But no showboating allowed. I'm supposedly a public servant, but I'm just going to sit back on my flank and watch ponies die in a giant tornado of water. Let's believe this guy who hasn't done anything useful for over 40 years instead of this brave and intrepid pony who has saved both our lives and Equestria multiple times. Time to suit up and get our tails kicked by fighting this giant dragon, all for the sake of referencing the Air Force fighting against Godzilla. We have never once been referred to as a public defense force before, and this will fail miserably, but Brodies will love us anyway.
So there we have it, a group of dysfunctional, disloyal, mob mentality ponies who can't find a single positive virtue between them if it popped out of Spitfire's chest like a xenomorph. And they exist purely for the sake of Top Gun references, and all we can do is desperately fill the gaps in with headcanon like the autistic basement dwellers that we are.
What even are you?
I do not and cannot understand why this show insists on giving us moronic secondary characters and then tells us that they're actually good guys because they apologize at the very end for being Ragnarok levels of world-ending dumb fucks. There is nothing redeeming about the Wonderbolts in this or any other episode I've seen them in, and the fact that Rainbow Dash just cozies up to them with the narrative convenience of sex happening in a 50 Shades novel doesn't help. It just makes it even worse. When people rationalize the Wonderbolts' ridiculous behavior, we're not working with what the writers give us. We're taking our own experiences and projecting them onto the show, and that's bad. It means that this episode had very little identity to it. Is this what we've come to now? Is this where we're at? We're just scraping the bottle of the dregs of the creative barrel because some idiot thought, hey, let's put a hazing episode into a little girl show. The kids will love it. Why is anyone expecting a cartoon for little girls to be an accurate depiction of a dysfunctional hazing from like a new sports team or whatever the Wonderbolts are supposed to be? This whole episode was just dysfunctional and irrational and disjointed, and none of it made any sense to me. Rainbow Dash just is, all of her characterization is ripped away, taken back to season 1 levels of stupid. The Wonderbolts are still ignorant and lame and nasty and just legitimately horrible ponies all around. And now, but once again, like the Cutie Mark Crusaders, it's done. She has her dream now. She's a Wonderbolt, and the Wonderbolts are all jerks. And that's how it's going to be forever. Whoop-de-freaking-doo. I give this episode a Spitfire out of poop. Because fuck you, Spitfire. You'll never be any better than poop in my eyes.